For the rest of the semester, we're going to be using MySQL Workbench, which, to be honest with you, is a really, really great tool. It does have its weaknesses, and I will tell you that on occasion it does tend to be a little unstable. If the application crashes unexpectedly, don't be surprised. It does happen to me occasionally. This is open source software, so sometimes it can be a little bit more unstable. At the same time, it does seem to recover well, and if it does crash, just reopen it. You should be all set. There are three main parts here on the left side that I want you to notice. We're going to come back to these in some of the later videos, but they are important to notice. We will not be using this, the double-headed arrow here. This is used for migration to other databases, which we're not going to do. But here what you want to do is you want to start with MySQL Workbench. The first step is to create a connection. You'll notice down here that I already have a couple of connections set up. This one is to my colleague Ellen Monk's server, which I do refer to occasionally. We share databases. And then, of course, there's my server. You're going to be setting up a connection to your own, to my server using your account. And this is the IP address that you're going to need. So let's walk through this carefully. This is the first step. The first thing, of course, is to hit the plus sign because we're going to add a connection. When you add a connection, you can call it whatever you want to. MySQL 604 server. Okay, that might be a good name for it even for you. It doesn't matter, you can put whatever you want to there. This is just what will pop up on the main page. Every server has an IP address, and we of course need to get the IP address exactly correct. So I'm going to go ahead and pull it from another location here, and I'll show you where you can find it in the class. If you go to the Canvas class, you'll notice I'm on the main page here. If you go to the syllabus, I have added it for you right there, right below this page. It says MySQL address. All right, this is the address 128, 175, etc. 175. So I want to copy that just to make sure I get it correct. So right click, copy, and now I've got that. And I'm going to go back now, and I'm going to replace the host name with that IP address. This should be exactly the same. Now whatever you do, do not change the port. MySQL tends to run on port 3306, and we're no exception. So we're just going to leave that the same. And then you need to change this to the ID that you were given in class. So this is I'm going to use student 001 as my example. And you'll note, you probably know from class that the ID is easy, but the password is kind of hard to remember. It's a very, very long name. So you're going to want to copy this more than likely and store it into the clipboard. You can store the password in your keychain, which I'm going to do. And that way you don't have to worry about doing it again in the future. I'm going to paste in the password. I'm going to hit OK. And now I'm going to test the connection. This just simply sends out the credentials to the server and checks whether or not it is going to be successful. If I hit this, successfully made the connection. Now this is what you should see on your screen. And if you do have this, you have successfully logged in. If this doesn't work, go back. If you get some kind of an error, go back and double check, because it's likely you made an error. Make sure the host name is correct. Make sure the port is still 3306. This doesn't matter, although it should be a good name. This, of course, should be TCP/IP, but everything else should be the same. If that's okay, we're going to hit OK, and it will store the new connection now over here. This is the name that you gave it, and if you click it now, it should connect, and you should see this on the screen. If you see this, congratulations, you successfully logged in. You should see all of these databases over to the left side. Now from semester to semester, these databases may change a little bit, but you should see a list of databases over here, and if so, you're all set.